guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with a very fun video that I wanted to film, and then Lacey posted hers, and I was like, well, Lacey, it's gonna look like I'm copying you. I'm not, but it is books you need to read before the end of 2020. So this one I did last year, so I'll link that down below. I'll link Lacey's down below, and this is fun because I think everyone's posting their own TBRs, and I think it'd be fun for you guys to have recommendations what I think you should read before the year's out. And how I'm doing this, I've been talking to Desiree from Genki Reader about how a lot of gift guides and like recommendation videos lately have been like the typical obvious books, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'd like to see books that aren't hyped and books that I haven't read yet. And so in this video, I'm recommending books that I don't think you've read yet. So some of them I've talked about. Some of them I have not yet because I finished 2 of them recently, and they're Christmas ones that I wanted to recommend. All of these have less than 2,000 ratings on Goodreads, but I wanted to recommend them to you. You might have read some of them, but hopefully you'll find some that you haven't read yet. So I will go ahead and get to my recommendations. The first one is one of 2 historicals on this list, and that is Earl of Christmas Past by Kerrigan Byrne. This one is in the Very Highland Holiday anthology, but I'm pretty sure you can read it alone on Amazon. I think you can get it on there. Hopefully you can, because this one is a novella and it is a ghost romance, and I have been wanting to read a ghost romance because I love the Mediator series by Meg Cabot, and in the Paranormal Romance Readathon I didn't get around to reading any ghost romances, and I love it. They're just so angsty. Like, how do you love a ghost? They're dead. So in this one, he's an Earl, and he actually died in Culloden. He was on the British side. Barely any people on the British side died during the Battle of Culloden. They like slaughtered the Highlanders. So even the Highlanders who didn't die during Culloden, they just went ahead and killed anyways. So I really loved this novella. He is haunting the place for a reason. He doesn't know why. She shows up. She's an unaccompanied woman. She loves photography. It's Victorian. It's amazing. You should read it. I really liked it. It's Kerrigan Byrne, so of course it's amazing. Next is pretty much the opposite of Christmas, and that is Truth or Dare by Danielle Allen. I loved this book so much. I read it for a reading vlog where I got recommendations from Twitter. This one, our main characters go to a wedding of their best friends. They're all part of a friend group. Their rule is you guys can't hook up with anybody unless it's for serious, like there's no casual things going on. We don't want to ruin our dynamics of our friend group. So our main character goes to this destination wedding, I don't remember where it is, and they all play Truth or Dare together, and she's dared to kiss one of her friends, and she's never seen him as anything, and there's a little spark there, and they're like, what was that? And the only snafu is that the bride, who's one of their friends, wants the guy to hook up with her sister because her sister just got out of a nasty relationship. She's really sad, and she's like, this is gonna be my wedding, and my sister's gonna fall in love and be happily ever after. It's gonna be perfect, and he's gonna be her Prince Charming. And so our main character can't tell her friend that she like has feelings for him because her friend has this whole perfect plan. And it's so good because then they kind of have to hide and like see if they really want something. If it's something, it's so good. Friends to lovers, read this if you haven't yet because you need to. This is the one that's probably the most read on here. I think it has just under 2,000 ratings, but it is the historical romance that I've read with the least amount of ratings, and it is This Earl of Mine by Kate Bateman. I don't see a lot of people talking about Kate Bateman. She doesn't want to get married. In order to not have to get married, she decides to marry someone on death row. She's like, hey, I'll get married to a prisoner and he'll get killed and I'll be a widow, and it'll be fabulous because widows have so much more freedom. They're not pressured to marry. They've already been married once. It's fine. So she goes there and she chooses a guy. Well, I think she chose someone else and he couldn't, so she chose a different guy, and he is actually kind of undercover spy, kind of, so he's not actually a prisoner, and they end up getting married, and he doesn't tell her, and he ends up being an earl, and she's married to him, and she's just like, well, crap, I didn't want to be a wife. I wanted you to die so that I could be free. And it goes from there, and it's so good. I love that premise, and apparently Shanna by Kathleen Woodowis is also that premise, which I had no idea. They were talking about that on Jen's channel for a live show she did, and I was like, what? So I want to read Shanna now because I really loved this. The next one is my fave, Christina C. Jones. I've read so many of her books this year, and I want to recommend Inevitable Conclusions. I feel like no one reads this series of hers. I read a couple of her popular series, but this one's friends to lovers with older characters who have, the main female character actually has a daughter who's in her 20s, and the heroine and the hero have been best friends for forever, and they know they can never try anything. They tried something in their early 20s 20s, but they were just so naive and young and insecure, and they were not in the right place for a relationship. So they called it off. They've been best friends ever since, and now they're like, can we actually do something and be together? And it's so good. Our heroine's like in theater and she's directing a play, and I really loved that. And I just loved having older characters and them seeing if it could work again, because they've already tried it once and it miserably failed. So like, can it happen? I don't know. And he's like dating someone, and of course it's like all of their spouses always get jealous of like their friendship, but it's really good. Then I have talked about this before, so you probably have remembered this, but it is Whiteout by Adriana Anders. This one I just really loved, so I want everybody to read it. It's perfect for winter because it is a Antarctica romance, and I read it because Kennedy Ryan recommended it after I read Kingmaker, and we had our live show for Queen Move, I think, on Lacey's channel for our book club, and she talked about it because I was like, I need more survival in the cold wilderness romances. And so our main characters work at a research center in Antarctica. The guy's a doctor, like a researcher, and she is actually just works in the kitchen. She's supposed to be leaving, and he's like a grump, and she's always like been attracted to him. And bad people take over. It's like an action movie. It reminds me of like Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone, like prime 80s action movie. This one, people take over, and she sees things happening, and she's like, oh my gosh, and then the plane leaves, and she's stuck. He's already still there, and then they have to make it to the next research camp, and they have to try to survive in the wilderness alone while bad people are chasing after them, and it's so good, and they fall in love in the process, obviously. So I recommend this one if you want like action-packed romance. Perfect for the winter time. Then I have Will You Be Mine by Rosie Adams. This one is a friends to lovers, fake dating, wedding romance again, and our main characters are best friends, and it's actually he's really into her and she doesn't know, and she doesn't want a relationship because she's been burned by friends to lovers before. She had a really good friend in high school, I think, in college something, and they actually did hook up and it ended really badly, and then he's inviting her to his wedding, and so she's freaking out, and he's like, we'll just go together. So they go together as friends to her ex-best friend's who didn't work out wedding, and it goes from there. So it's very fun, it's very good. I really enjoyed it. I love a good friends to lovers, and I love it when the guy's super into the girl and it's not like the girl pining secretly the whole time while he's off like sleeping around with everybody. I feel like that's overdone. This one, perfection. I really loved it. Wedding again, fake dating, friends to lovers. It was great. I'm actually going to add another one on. I just finished it yesterday, and it was really good because it's a trope I want more of. So this is the last one. It is historical. It's Christmas. It's a novella. It is The Captain's Midwinter Bride by Liana de la Rosa. So if you're in the mood for novella, Christmas novellas, I have my reading vlog going up later this week of all these that I read. And this one was a standout. It is a married couple, and he is a sea captain. I was hoping we'd get like more sea stuff, but we don't get any of that. He's decided to retire, and he is hasn't been around. So his wife and him like are pretty much strangers. They like each other, but they don't know anything about each other, and their daughter's about to get married. And so they learn really to love each other again. He really learns what happened while he was gone, what he put his wife through, and he's like, oh, you don't actually like it when I'm gone? I thought you did. And so they rekindle their love, and he has to rekindle his relationship with his children, and especially his daughter, because his daughter doesn't know if she wants to get married or not, and doesn't know if she can talk to him about it, and it's really cute. I really liked it. And if you want like a married couple learning to love each other again, because I know a lot of people want that, and I haven't read a lot of them, check this book out. It was really fun, really cute. It was a novella, but it didn't feel too short or rushed or anything, so I'd recommend this one. And those are some books that I think you should read before the end of 2020. Let me know down below if you've actually read them or not. If they are new recs to you, I would love to hear. I'm trying to be more different in my recommendations and not give you the same old, so we don't need to know. I could have said From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout, but they're so popular and tons of people have read them, so these are ones that I don't see a lot of people reading and talking about that I think you should read. That's all I have. Let me know down below if there's any other books you think that people need to read, that I need to read, that you don't see anybody talking about. I would love to hear. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.